Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special holiday broadcast of On the Spot with David Rodgers. In lieu of going through the whole details of the big introduction, everything like that one, you know the spiel. You know how we normally do our show like that one. We're not going to waste your time with any of that stuff like that. We do, though, have a show coming up for you now. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is the show pony himself, Mr. Friday Night, David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, alongside Mitchell Gunner and the Byron Bagwell. Great to have you along tonight. Hey, tonight's show. Whoa, there we go. Oh, sorry about that, Mike. No problem.
It's all right. Here we go.
Hey, let's start it over. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers, alongside Byron Bagwell and Mitchell Gunner. Welcome to the show. Tonight's show is sponsored by the Mitchell Gunner Racing. How about that? Be sure to follow our favorite NHRA Division II Summit ET sportsman racer as he tears up the tracks in the southeast United States. Follow Mitchell on Facebook or for the latest. That's right. You have Mitchell. That's right.
The Mitchell.
The Mitchell Gunner.
That's right.
Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Thank you very much. Let us bow our heads as we go to prayer. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time as we are here with our brothers, our brethren, from the On the Spot with David Rodgers team, as we bring you and our audience the information that they need to hear, dear Lord. Hopefully they can take it and retain it and do as they wish with it, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, the most powerful and freest country in the world today, dear Lord. Keep a hedge of protection and put your hand over us, dear Lord, as we're going through some trials and tribulations of our own. Thank you for letting us have the greatest armed forces in the world today, the men and women that are serving each and every branch. Keep a hedge of protection over them. Any of them that's coming home, dear Lord, keep them safe. Keep them in your arms as they go and visit their families. The ones that can't, dear Lord, again, keep your hand on them and a hedge of protection over them as well. Thank you for all of our first responders, dear Lord, each and every one of those men and women that are working hard and diligently to keep us safe each and every day and each and every night as we lay our head down at night, dear Lord, and as we're through our work day. Just keep those guys safe and letting them to be able to do their job. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them, dear Lord. There are many out there in this great Christmas time. Please touch each and every one of them. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day. It goes to nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Again, thank you for letting us do this show, dear Lord. Thank you for this great week that we're going to have. Thank you for the show that we're about to do. And thank you for letting us have this Christmas season and this New Year season, dear Lord. And that everybody has a good time with their family. But please, as they make them safe and careful as they're going throughout the holiday season. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says,
Amen.
Amen. Let us stand for our pledge, please. And I'm going to ask Mr. Mitchell Gunner to lead us, please.
I
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to On the Spot with David Rodgers. This is going to be an abbreviated show, ladies and gentlemen, as we are in the Christmas season. I'm going to have these guys get out of here a little bit early tonight so we can be with our families, get some last-minute Christmas shopping done. Look at here. Ho, ho, ho. How about that? Anyway, Byron Bagwell, the Byron Bagwell, acting as Santa Claus. Glad to have you guys along. Byron Bagwell, Mr. Michael Heater, having the weather here just a few minutes here with us. We got me, the Mitchell Gunner. Shouldn't we call you the? No, that's it.
Yeah, that's the
That's
Byron
it.
Bagwell.
We just go. Yeah, no, you're the.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the. He's Mitchell Gunner. I'm David Rodgers. Mr. Dave Holland couldn't be here tonight. He has other commitments that he's fulfilling. So we'll make sure, hopefully, that he's getting fulfilled as we're speaking. But anyway, do you have any patriotic quote of the week?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's hear it.
Our Constitution was made for only a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate in the government of any other.
Really? Michael? Boy, you got me. You may have me on this one.
Yeah, I have no idea on this one. If I was going to take a guess, I would say somebody who's
Somebody famous?
somebody well versed. There you go. That's my take on it.
All right, Mitchell.
Repeat it one more time.
Sure. Well, if I can get the phone to come back. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other.
I'm going to say Thomas Jefferson. Just to throw it out.
No, it's not Thomas
Oh, you know it's not? Okay.
It's not TJ.
It's not DJ.
No, it's not TJ.
Is it a founding father?
Yes.
Is it Thomas
Paine.
It is not Thomas Paine. One more time.
George Washington.
Nope.
Adams.
That's correct. It's John Adams.
All
I was
right.
gonna say
Mr.
that.
John Adams.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say that.
We just had to keep going and narrow it down, right? Thank
There's
you.
only
Mike.
a few of them. So.
There you go.
There's a whole bunch of them.
There is a whole bunch of them.
I was just trying to be funny.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm going to start branching out into some of the other ones that nobody knows anything about.
Yeah, let's do that.
When I go, it was Rutherford.
Rutherford, yeah.
Or what's his name from Georgia? Gwinnett.
Yeah.
Gwinnett or somebody like that.
All right. Well, thank you, Byron, for that great quote. Let's continue on with the show. Hey, don't go anywhere because the 360 starts right now. How about this? That this is the 360. Your news and weather update is 360 degrees in just 360 seconds. Tonight, brought to you by Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call David Cutney at 904-964-3338 to get your haircut and some fulfillment. All right. Let us continue on. The Lake City Police Department is searching for several suspects following an attempted kidnapping that left a female injured after she was dragged down the street. Good grief. The incident, whoa, Mike, that's all right, no big deal. Yeah, the incident happened Saturday afternoon on Southeast Inglewood Avenue. Police have not provided a vehicle description or any suspect information, but anyone who may have seen the incident is asked to call the investigator Rose with the Lake City Police Department at 386-752-4343. 8 Putnam County residents are under arrest for a variety of charges after neighbors reported ongoing drug activity. The Putnam County Sheriff's Office SWAT team raided the suspected drug house and arrested 8, finding 251 grams of drugs and 1 firearm. Arson is the suspected cause of a massive fire threat that swept through a downtown Palatka business Sunday afternoon, Byron. Once the headquarters of the second largest cypress mill in the world and a part of future plans for the Cypress Cove Riverside project, the Florida Furniture Industries building, abandoned for more than a decade, went up in flames. Good gosh.
And I know right where that's at.
I do too. While it could take several weeks to determine the cause of the blaze, there was no electricity in the vacant building, and a previous arson fire had destroyed a different section of the structure several years ago. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection has awarded nearly $7 million in grant money to the High Springs Wastewater Plant to restructure its facility, which will have a reduction in the amount of pollutants and nitrogen going into the groundwater. That's the latest news from around the region. Now, here's your weather forecast with fantastic weatherman Michael Heater. What do you have for us, big guy?
Hey, good evening, folks. Michael Heater filling in for Austin Stevens. Wanted to give you a little bit of an update. Now, we've had some nasty weather throughout the day today, and it's coupled with the fact that this is the shortest day of the year. Yes, December 21st is the winter solstice. So we are having a bit of a cold snap, nasty snap, call it what you will. The good news is it won't last terribly long. We'll start off with some pollen numbers like that. I don't have the graphics for you tonight, but suffice it to say that the pollen numbers are very low. Today it was a 1.4. We're looking at the pollen reaching up to a level of 3 on a scale of 1 to 9 as we get into later on into the week. The days of 10 and 12s are long gone. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all, but we are going to see some continuing improvement in the conditions, as well as the days getting longer now that we've reached the winter solstice and moving into spring. So across the forecast area, though, from Charlotte over to Pascagoula, up to Atlanta, Nashville, the whole area, beautiful conditions tomorrow, stretching all the way through the rest of the week. Don't expect there to be any cloud cover or any rain in the forecast, but what their struggle is going to be is getting through the next few hours. Locally, we're looking at decent weather conditions on the improvement after lunchtime tomorrow. Now, that's going to force us to have a little bit of a foggy, nasty commute, but the sun should break free through the clouds starting about noon to 1 o'clock. And by tomorrow night, we'll have seasonal temperatures with highs in the 60s and lows dropping off into the 40s. We're looking at nice conditions all the way through the weekend, and we're anticipating the dry conditions to last for the next 3 to 5 days. That is the latest from Austin's Weather Service. Dave, we're going to throw it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Michael. That's a great weather report. We'll have that for you again just as soon as we get ready to end the show. Weather's always important, especially this time of year. You know, everybody getting out and stuff, so we'll have that weather forecast back for you. With Christmas around the corner, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. There is no trivia on Thursday night at the Downtown Grill, but get ready for all new questions and answers in the new year. Mike, I want to throw it to you. Is there any trivia at Fun Point? If there isn't, when is the next time you're going to have trivia?
Well, good point there. No, we're not having trivia at Fun Point either this week or next week. We're taking a bit of a holiday break. We're looking at nice conditions as far as for the Christmas season. We're giving everyone a little bit of a break, but we have a great trivia system coming up starting on the first week of January. All new categories. We're going to have some fun with them. Those of you that have joined us before, you know how we do our trivia. What the, we have our own little, you got to be kidding segment. We have our own Let's Visit the Zoo segment. We've got a couple other categories that are going to be right up your alley. We're going to have a great time with that one. So again, trivia Wednesday nights starting in 2 weeks at Fun Point, starting at 7 p.m. And next week on Thursday night at 7:30 at the Downtown Grill.
Appreciate it, Michael. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a great point. So no trivia for 2 weeks at the Fun Point, but we will next Thursday have trivia at the Downtown Grill. Now, everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Dallas, who I work for on Friday nights during football season, and the Bradford County Telegraph, John Miller, John Ryan Tillman, Mark Crawford, and of course Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. This is where you guys can play. These are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph in the third week of December in what year? Bradford walking for Newtown families, threatening kids, lands man in jail. How about that? Connor's legacy remembered. So was that December of 2012, December of 2014, or December of 2016? I can see the look in your eyes. I think you know the answer. Bradford walking for Newtown families, threatening kids, lands man in jail. Connor's legacy remembered. Was it December of 2012, December of 2014, or December of 2016? This is where you can guess, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. Sheriff Gordon Smith invited the community to participate in Walk 27 at the Shan Stark Hospital parking lot to walk for 27 minutes to honor the 20 students and 7 adults killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut following a mass shooting. Oh, you guys remember that. James Chris Fields, age 57, from Graham, was arrested for aggravated assault and facilitating terrorism for threats he was making to children in the Riverbend Estates neighborhood. Fields reportedly called Florida Governor Rick Scott's office 13 times to say he was going to shoot children in the community. And last but not least, Doyle O'Connor passed away and was recognized as the Bradford High School graduate who went on to become the youngest Speaker of the House and the second longest serving Commissioner of Agriculture in the state of Florida. Bradford walking for Newtown families, threatening kid lands man in jail, and Connor's legacy remembered. Was that December 2012, December 2014, or December of 2016? Here's where you need to take a guess, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last show of the year. You want to make sure you get your entries in. Michael, if I'm not mistaken, Byron Mitchell, there's not very many entries in for the month of December. Is that correct? Not very many. So make sure that you take a guess. You can win a $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill to use it any way you want to. Use it on trivia night. Use it Friday night. Use it Saturday. Whenever you want to use it, you use it. But that's what you can win. We'll have that drawing on January the 4th after we get back. And, of course, we'll have a winner. And we've had multiple winners, Mitchell. We've had winners that maybe skipped a month or so. So, hey, just because you won before doesn't mean you can't win again. And, of course, you know, the new winners as well. Want to welcome into the show here while y'all are giving your answers. Roy Jackson's watching. Gail Allen, Tom Bailey out of the great state of Alabama. Mom, Shirley Bagwell is watching. Hello, Mom. Say hello to your mother there.
Hey, Mom.
Barbara Zipper from Lake Butler is watching. Tammy Testone's on. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello, Alfie. And here we go. Dwight Allen. Good evening, fellow Patriots. Merry Christmas to all. And Merry Christmas to him and his family.
Absolutely.
And everybody that we know. Anthony Black out of where? Tallahassee, Florida. The Throttle Talk Girls. Hi, friends. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. The Throttle Girls. Cece Marie, and is her name Amy?
Yes, that is correct.
And Amy. They're the Throttle Talk Girls. So they helped judge the contest the other day, your car show,
Yes.
and did a very good job. They turned it in. Sylvester Warren, Merry Christmas to you. The models, Sharon Petterprin's on. How about that? Noah Gibson's on. Devin Willer's on. John Garner from Pascagoula, Mississippi's on. My old classmate. Melissa Cribbs is on. Billy Rayberg's on. Billy Rayberg. Man, what is that on top of your head? David, a skunk? Oh, boy. Bobby Gibson from Birmingham, Alabama.
Billy, he's going all natural.
No. Now let's be fair about this. We're focusing on the Christmas season. It's just a little bit of snow on top.
There you go. All right, I like that, Michael. Renee Stegall Shaw, my buddy from Pascagoula, Mississippi. She says hi to all of you. She says hello, Alvy, and Merry Christmas. Sharon Pepper says good evening, Merry Christmas. Hey, Judith Young Sally's joining us. She said good evening, guys, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And Shirley Bagwell says good evening, gentlemen. I know she's talking to you and you. I'm sure she's not talking to me.
Yeah, probably not.
Not after I did what I did at her Christmas party.
Well, that's all right.
That's all right. She enjoyed that, I think. Yeah, she did. He needs to let that hair dye alone and go natural. It would look very distinguished. Who would say that about me?
Everybody.
Yes, but who mainly? Renee Stegall Shaw. Yeah. Billy Rayberg. Here we go, Michael. Guesses.
Okay.
2012. Billy Rayberg.
Okay.
Roy Jackson. 2012. Glad I could catch all this evening. It's been a while. It's been so busy. We understand that, Renee. Hey, we've all got a lot of things going on. But I'm glad that y'all can join in. Sharon Petterpin, the model, says 2012, Byron. Hey, Will Smith says, Santa Byron.
Ho,
Ho, ho! You're bringing fulfillment to everybody, to include Dave Holland. All right, Randy Brooks. Oh, no, Tammy Testone says 2012. Randy Brooks, 2012. Edward Petterpin, 2012. Judith Young Sally, 2012. Jenna Rawls watching. Hollywood Jones. How are you tonight? Merry Christmas. Shirley Bagwell, 2012. Jason and Sonia, Feliz Navidad. Hello there. It is snow on his... There's Mom. The snow on his hair.
Who said that?
Mom. Oh, boy. Let's see. Gonna get cold here in Colorado. Man, we got somebody watching from Colorado, Mike.
Yep.
I'll be daggone.
Welcome in, Sylvester.
I got a friend that lives out in Utah.
Uh-huh.
They got a good dusting.
Uh-huh.
Had their dogs out there playing in it. Man, it was beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, while we got a chance, I want to mention, and I know you were probably going to get into it, or you would, or even Mike while he was doing the weather. Hey, let's keep those guys in prayer that went through those horrendous storms through the Midwest and Kentucky. By the way, Michael, I'm going to give you a little bit of time here in just a little bit. I want you to tell them what you're doing for that drive for those people in the great state of Kentucky. I think that's a great thing. And Michael will tell you how to pledge if you need to do that. But we need to keep them in our prayers, man. This came around Christmas time, man, and some of these people are displaced, ain't going to have a place to go, and we want to make sure that at least we get the information out that Michael's doing with his drive with his fantastic fire brigade. So, Sylvester Ward said, yes, I'm getting 10 cold in Colorado. Yes, it is. All right, hey, what do you say?
Merry Christmas.
All right, yeah, what about you guess on your date?
2012.
12. Mike, you can't, right? Nope. Mitchell?
It is 2012.
You are very certain of that. So am I, because I'm going to tell you, man, let's see if me and you got the same thing. I'm going to say 2012. All right, everybody's in? I hope so. And the answer is, let's get a drum roll, please. Let's wait for it. All right. What do you have, Mike? It is December of 2012. What gave it away for you?
Sandy Hook.
Yeah, that same thing. Yeah. Sandy Hook. That's what gave it away for me, too. So, all right. Anyway, hey, guys, continue to watch the show. We're just going to keep going through. Glad that y'all could join us. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you. Mr. Byron Bagwell, Mr. Michael Heater, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, and myself. But before you get to this local stuff here, I got a little story to tell about Dave Holland that y'all didn't know. Since he's not here, I'll go ahead and tell it. Back in 1999.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in 1999, Dave Holland played baseball. Did y'all know that? Dave Holland played baseball, was a very good baseball player. He played in the California Penal League. He led the league in batting average, on base percentage, walks, base on balls, and missing child support payments. How about that? Give it up for Mr. Dave Holland. Dave, I'm kidding. We love you. That's because you're not here. All right, Mitchell, what do you have for us on What's the Scoop? This one's getting out of hand.
Okay, we're going to start up. You know, Christmas is right around the
California
corner.
Penal League.
Christmas is right around the corner, and First Baptist Church of Keystone Heights is holding a Christmas Eve candlelight service. This is going to take place on Friday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. In local news, the city of Stark, the City Hall will be closed starting at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, December 22nd through Sunday, December 26th in observance of Christmas. Also, the Bradford County offices will be closed on Thursday, December 23rd and Friday 24th, and offices will resume on the 27th. Bradford County schools are out for Christmas break, so I know the kids are really happy. Parents, if you want to, you can go on the Focus accounts. Their grades have been posted, so if you want to see what your kids done without having to wait on the report card to come to you, you may do so. Sorry, kids, it may change a little bit on what you get for Christmas, but just wanted to put that out there. I probably will have a lot of kids mad at me.
Yeah, you probably are.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Also, with the school district, they will have a reorganization meeting workshop on January the 10th. Just wanted to go ahead and put that out there at 5:45 p.m. And right after that, they will resume with the regular school board meeting at 6. Something very local that is really great. These ladies, Sonia Sack, Jennifer Swanson, Tanya Barnhart, and also Becky Smith. They have been doing this for the past few years. It's Bradford County Feeding Families. What a great group of ladies to volunteer their time going around. And also, I want to thank those who actually dropped off food for them to make sure these families can have food on their table for Christmas. I also want to get into a little bit of what's going on with the bypass. We are still having a large amount of car accidents, almost an average of 1 to 2 a day. And a lot of this is due to, sitting there. If you pay attention to your traffic signals, there is a delay from once the traffic light goes red before your light goes green is 2 seconds. I'm going to reach out to FDOT, see if they can get in those signal boxes, change the delay on those signal boxes. where it's 5 seconds, yes, all 3 ways of traffic will be stopped red for a limited amount of time before the light will turn green, and hopefully that will stop the accidents that we're having. I actually witnessed it on, I guess it was this past Monday. I'm sitting there at the traffic light. It's red. My alert light turns green. 3.5 seconds later, a tractor trailer just blows right through there like it's nothing. These people are trying to beat that light even when it goes red, and it's causing a very bad situation for people. It's causing damage to the property, injuries, and it can cause fatality. So I'm going to reach out to FDOT, see if we can make those changes. I don't think it will cost a whole lot of money at all. More or less just someone coming out and reprogramming the traffic signals, because each one of them will have, contain its own brain that controls it.
Mitchell, who has to make the determination on that? And Michael probably could answer that too. I mean, who? Do you have to get permission?
Well,
I know you're going to let somebody know. Who?
FDOT has a safety board that meets pretty much in different areas. I know they meet here in Bradford and discuss stuff, and that is taken back to their main office, and they will further discuss it and hopefully make changes. A while back, the speed limit through the traffic signals were 65 miles an hour. I wanted to get them lowered at 45. The state said, no, we're not lowering them that low. We will knock off, 10 mile an hour, put them at 55. It's kind of helped a little bit, but we're still having, people blow through it. And I know what people say, we need deputies sitting out there, we need a highway patrol sitting out there catching them. Well, you cannot put a deputy at that intersection all day long. There's too much other stuff that's going on. These men and women that works for a sheriff's department and also for the state of Florida Highway Patrol, they do a lot of great things, and this is no reflection on them whatsoever. This is just bad drivers just not obeying the law, the traffic laws, and just blowing through there. I mean, I even got up along the side of the tractor trailer, the guy driving, I blew the horn and went like this because he ran through, so he blew his horn back at me. So I just kind of chuckled. I said, yep, it could have been a whole lot worse if I would have just gunned it on out there, because my light was green. I would have got hit. And no telling, instead of having a Christmas with my family, they could be having my funeral.
Yeah, sure.
So,
sure.
you got to think about things like that. And so I'm hoping I can get that changed. I want to talk about something else that happened here recently. Was the Kiwanis Club basketball tournament that they hold. Paxton outscored Bradford High School boys 29-6 in the third quarter, winning 65-36 and claiming the championship trophy in the final day of action of the Lake Area McDonald's Kiwanis of Start Christmas basketball tournament that was on December the 18th and took place at the Bradford High School gym.
Also, I want to let everybody know, and Michael's got a little bit more information here. For Bradford, we had 2 of our players that didn't play, 2 of our main players that didn't get a chance to compete due to some other things.
Right.
But that hurt. You can tell when you get outscored 29-6 in the third quarter, when it's 8-minute quarters, you know what was happening.
You're having a problem on defense.
Yeah,
big time.
Absolutely.
And still reflects on offense as well.
Yeah.
In addition, Riverside scored 23 points each in its first 2 quarters en route to handle the Bradford High School junior varsity boys team 60-28 loss in the final day of action. Keystone High School got a double-double from the Desiree Bright for his 3rd straight game in the Indians' 52-26 win over host Union County in the December 17th girls basketball game.
Right, Desiree. Congratulations.
And I tell you what, my hat's off to the Kiwanis. They do a lot of great things and provide a championship like that for these young men to play basketball, and I tell you what, they put on a great show. Unfortunately, Bradford did fall a little short.
Yeah.
And I tell you that game between Keystone and Union County looked like it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty good game there. All right, Mitchell.
I got a funny thing, and I know all of us are going to laugh about it, and probably our viewers too. Just a few days ago, a Florida man was kicked off his flight, and his flight was on the United Airlines. This happened because he was wearing women's. It was women's underwear for a mask. The man said he was against the mask mandate, and that was the reason why he was wearing the women's underwear. Hey, he had his face covered, so, and you know what? Those panties, they were probably about as good as a regular face mask anyway.
Well, that's contrary to popular belief.
I wish they had a picture that we could share tonight of this guy wearing a woman's panties on his face. It would be hilarious. Also, one other thing,
At least he wasn't wearing a jock strap.
The Facebook police
Yep,
not coming after
that would be pretty funny as well, Dave. Only you would think about that, right? The football announcer.
Football, of course, man. Yeah, you gotta have a jock strap on.
Also,
the cup, right there.
What if he was wearing that as a mask?
See, now you're influencing me.
Yeah. Your moms were listening, by the way.
I gotta stop.
well, I wonder if he was had men's underwear on his face, would he still get kicked off? Probably so.
Probably so.
Just one other thing. In the past, we had Lyle Barnett on our show, and he had a fundraiser for kids and their families that were in the burn units in Augusta, Georgia. Lyle done this because he has been a victim of being burnt real bad, after one of his crashes there at South Georgia Motorsports Park. But he was able to help 23 families with his GoFundMe fundraiser. And, if you missed out this year participating, maybe, you can take part in it next year. I hope this is the thing that he continues doing. And, it made me feel full of joy to be able to participate and donate to it as well. And I tell you what, it all boils down to what this money goes to for those 23 families. The organization that's part of that is called Shop with a Doc, which we have Shop with a Cop here, but Shop with a Doc is a group of doctors and nurses that pretty much do the same thing, but for those kids that are patients in those hospitals. So I hope Lyle keeps up the great work in doing
absolutely.
that. And
been a guest of ours too. And
yes, and probably will be a guest again.
I'm sure.
He said he would love to come on around the Gator Nationals, and
Okay.
I tell you, we got the new year right around the corner, and I've got some things cooking in the oven, and I think it's going to be a great year, 2022 for On the Spot with David Rodgers and for our viewers.
I think so as well, and we've got a lot of big things going, just not with the show, but individually. As you just heard Michael, and he's fixing to get on here in just a few minutes and talk about what he's doing up there for the great folks in Kentucky. He's got his fantastic fire brigade going, doing different things with that. Byron, you've got several things going on as well. And Mitchell, as always, you're into the car shows, into the drag racing and things like that. And not just those, but you got fundraisers going on as well. Right. And I do as well. So not only great things coming for us, but for the show as well.
Right. And I just want to mention, I'm right now working on a car show for a good friend of mine. His daughter has stage 4 cancer. She lives in Indiana. And she have been working at the hospital all day. She fell and she really couldn't feel her legs. So they took her to the hospital, took 2 trips, and they found out that she had spots of cancer on her vertebrae. And that was causing her to be paralyzed So she's had some surgeries, but she's got cancer in other places in her body as well. It's this cancer is very aggressive and fast acting. And so what we want to do is put this car show together for her to help their family because she's unable to work. And I know this family very well. They are a very hard-working family, and I know it's probably very difficult for her to go through this and not be able to get up and go to work every day and have finances for her family. So those details, when they all get worked out, we will post them on The Spot with David Rodgers, and I will create a Facebook page. But while we talk about her, let's think about all of those that are facing issues like this and their families right here at Christmas, because this is the time of year that it's really hard on everyone.
Yeah,
So, and I appreciate you letting me bring that up, David.
Yeah, no problem. I was hoping that you would bring that up. And again, we're here to help everybody, and as much as we can. We can only do certain things, but
Right.
hey, even if it's just to bring the information out, whatever the case may be, hey, that's what we're here for. Right. So, just want to read a couple of our comments here. Timmy Testo said, Alvy says, hello, Santa Claus. Anybody with a red Santa Claus hat is Santa Claus to Alvy. So,
Ho, 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 hello, Alvy.
And I forgot about this. Two people, Sharon Pemper in the model brought this up. Two people in our own hometown had their homes destroyed by the tornado that touched down a week ago last Wednesday. The two homes are on Redgrave. The trees that destroyed their homes are still on their houses. Haven't heard any news about where the owners are staying or what will be done about their houses. Sharon, you happen to ask the right question because the guy that has a lot of our information, Michael Heater, has an update for you.
So Sharon, one of the things that came up about this one was that the house that you're referring to on Redgrave Street at the corner of Colley Road, at Laura Street in Redgrave, it was actually the home of a Clay County school teacher. There was a GoFundMe account as well as her own personal insurance that was taken in, kicked in here. The students have been raising money to help her and her family. The house still has the tree on it because it's an insurance claim. So while there has been some discussion about trying to go ahead and get everything fixed up and whatnot like that, it's a holdup on the insurance company. County Emergency Management has been in touch with the residents to make sure that they didn't need any help. She doesn't, as far as family goes and that sort of thing like that. But it looks worse than it actually is as far as the situation goes. Insurance is going to be stepping in and helping get everything back up to speed on that one. The other structure, I'm not really sure about that one, but I do know that the county has continued to check on them and through emergency management and the sheriff's office just to make sure there's nothing else that's needed. But at this point, it's more of an insurance issue as the homeowners are working with their insurance companies to bring in the companies to remove the trees and to make the associated damages. While we're talking about storms, if I may, I'm going to look over here to the boss real quick and make sure he gives me the official thumbs up, which he did. So for those of you that know, the Fantastic Fire Brigade does a lot of charity work in the community. We do food drives for the Bradford Food Pantry. We have another food drive coming up for Lake Area Ministries. We do the Toys for Tots. That's all fine and dandy. When the tornadoes moved through western Kentucky and through the Appalachian area, we immediately jumped on the ability to be able to get some help going on that one. We reached out to the state of Kentucky and found out, excuse me, that there is a fundraising effort that's being set up by the governor. Governor Asher has said that they wanted to do something to help the local communities. Fire stations have been destroyed, and wouldn't you know it, other fire departments around the country have been donating fire engines and having them taken to Kentucky and to Tennessee and those areas to provide fire protection and fire rescue services, which is fantastic. So what the Fantastic Fire Brigade has done is that we are collecting donations, monetary donations, to be able to send directly to the governor's office in Kentucky through the Western Kentucky Disaster Relief Fund. This is a program that it was established by the governor's office. It's something that we've been working on for some time. I and the company has come up and said that for every donation that is received, I will match it. So if you donate $10, I'll donate $10. You donate $50, I will donate $50. So, but we are putting it together using the funds from the business and everything like that one. We're collecting it, and we're going to make one large donation on behalf of North Florida through the Fantastic Fire Brigade to the Western Kentucky Disaster Relief Fund set up through the governor's office in Kentucky. If you would like to donate, we can use through PayPal. FantasticFire17@gmail.com is the email address. You can get that off of our Facebook page. You can make a donation to several locations. The Melrose Fire Department, Chief Kevin Mobley has stepped in and said, yes, we will accept check and cash donations. Tracy Gremmel, a realtor, 350 South Lawrence Boulevard in Keystone Heights. Their office is collecting donations as well. Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza. Our good buddy Dave Holland is also a drop-off point for that one. And, of course, the ever-popular, the ever-loving community guy, Chris Davis at Slice and Dice Barbecue. You can also make cash and check donations there as well. If you prefer to mail it in, you can do that as well. The address for the Fantastic Fire Brigade is at 932 Wilson Road here in Stark, Florida. That's 32091. Again, all this information is posted on the Fantastic Fire Brigade Facebook page. Find us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, and you can get all the information and the details that you need from that. That's the latest on the storm damage and the recovery efforts that we're working on. Dave, I'm going to throw it back over to you.
Michael, thank you very much, and great report there. And of course, you'll have our window here in just a couple of minutes. Do want to mention, as you mentioned, Chris Davis. Chris Davis does a lot for our community. He is in Lawdy, Florida. Got a great business over there called Slice and Dice. If you haven't been over there, or if you're riding through, Renee Stegall Shaw, Bobby Gibson, Anthony Black, stop in Lawdy at a place called Slice and Dice right off of 225. You can go in there and get some of the best barbecue in this side of heaven. Hamburgers. Hey, you name it, it's all good. But he told me to remind everybody for tomorrow. Michael, he's got beef brisket tomorrow. Hey, for $15.99. I think that's two of them. I think that's two plates. Mm-hmm. As long as it lasts, he said. He said he doesn't know how long it's going to last, but he said once he runs out, it's done. Mike?
Hey, well, I guess I know where I'm going for lunch.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
buddy.
I
I
do.
wish I could go with you. Don't you?
Yes.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what are you writing over there? Anyway, hey, Sheriff Pettiford, I'm glad we can answer that question. Anthony Black says people are always in a hurry and they don't pay attention to their driving and they drive like idiots. Yeah. Billy Jackson is on. Hello, Billy. Renee Stegall Shaw says, oh, the directions we could go. I'm surprised it took anybody this long to try that. I guess what you were talking about, Mitchell. Jimmy Sparks is on from Lake City. Melissa Dell, my next door neighbor. Merry Christmas to you and Eddie. The model says, thank you, Michael, for that great breakdown. Brad and Donna Hildreth is on. Dave Holland Jr. is on. Renee Stegall Shaw says, my personalized license plate, Byron, reads, pay attention, and very few people are.
Yeah.
So ain't that great, man? I tell you right now. Byron, I tell you what, Mitchell gave a great few stories there right here before Christmas. Got anything you want to talk about there before I get into a little sports here?
Well, I wanted to just a little while change up and go a different direction than I normally go.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about this. And the reason I wanted to ask you guys, because I wanted y'all's input, not only the guys that we normally do the show with, but also the audience out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why did people originally come to the Americas?
I know that answer.
Freedom of religion.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. The answer is freedom of religion.
Mm-hmm.
And what they wanted, the original intent was they wanted to come to America and worship Jesus the way they wanted to worship Jesus. And in Europe at that point in time, if you did not worship Jesus in the way that the Catholic Church prescribed that you worship Jesus, you could actually get in some very serious trouble.
Right.
So people like the Quakers, Baptists, Protestants, basically Protestants.
Yeah.
They came to America so they could worship Jesus the way they wanted to worship Jesus. I look at the condition of this country now, and I think about what time we are coming to in the next 4 days, and think about the fact that we can't even, in some places, call Christmas. Christmas, it's got to be happy holidays.
Right.
And I wonder what happened to these people's search and belief that they came to a country for the specific purpose of being able to worship the way they wanted to worship without persecution.
Right.
And I look at some people's response when you say Merry Christmas, and they say, well, you can't say that. Well, quite frankly, yes, you can. That's what this country was founded on, was religious freedom. One of the things that it was founded on. The quote that I gave you earlier from John Adams, who is one of the people that's really most responsible for writing our Constitution and basically making the states federalize through a series of writing called Federalist Papers, which basically backed the Constitution, which is what gave us all the Constitution Convention and the abilities to hold our freedoms that we have.
Right.
I wonder what they would think about the country that we live in right now and the condition that it's in, that people have to be afraid to say Merry Christmas or talk about Jesus Christ on his birthday. What they would think about this. I'm pretty sure I know what they would think about it. But what do you guys think? What do you think John Adams' response to some of this that goes on today? What do you think it would be?
Well, you were talking about why did the people come over here, and what you just said was about their religious beliefs. If you wasn't, like you said, in the Catholic religion back then, Catholicism, yes,
Yeah.
that was a hard word for me to say. You know, you were pretty much going against the government there at that particular point. So, like I said, they come over here. You know, you're talking how many years ago? 400 or 500 years ago now, and over that time, it's deteriorated from what our founding fathers wrote. Excuse me. And what we believed in, and what our Constitution and Declaration of Independence is predicated upon.
Right.
Over these hundreds of years, you could just see it deteriorating. And now we're in 2022, and has it, buddy, not done anything but disappeared. It's out of schools. Don't pray in school anymore. Because you now are the minority. Remember if you didn't pray in school, you were the minority. But if you pray in school now, you're the minority.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem, and I was hoping one of you would bring this up with the schools. You say that you're a minority, but you're really not.
No.
Because over 60% of Americans are still Christian.
Absolutely.
So why are we letting other people dictate to us
Right.
where and when we can pray?
Because leaders have lost their backbone.
That's part
Yes.
of it. Part of it is because leaders have lost their backbone.
Right.
If you talk to people about Christmas being about the birth of Christ, you can do that, but you're going to get ostracized by some people, and you're also not going to be able to really do that in schools.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. We're supposed to have religious freedom in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And government is not excluded from that.
Right.
They can twist the First Amendment all they want to about that. What it says is that that our Congress shall write no law to the establishment of a national, basically, religion, nor the abridgment of the free exercise thereof, is what that says. Which basically, when you say there is a separation of church and state, there is. We cannot form a state religion.
Right.
They were scared half to death of another religion coming in and becoming Catholicism in the United States, which
Right.
was basically all mixed up in the politics in Europe.
Right.
But what they also put in there was that you can't make somebody not be able to practice their religion. And it doesn't say in state buildings, it doesn't say that our government can't, people in our government can't say, I'm a Christian, this is my beliefs, I'm going to pray. It doesn't say that a Christian inside of a school can't pray. Now, it also doesn't say that schools can't teach those religions.
Right.
It just says that you can't form one that you teach in particular. So my problem with the whole entire thing today is that we have gotten so browbeat in the courts that because of people that quite frankly hate religion, that we are scared half to death to talk about religion. I've gone over some religious things in my speeches, but I don't do it myself. Because when you start talking about this, you have things like people saying, we're never going to watch the show again. Well,
Yeah, no, you're exactly right about that.
here's my point with the whole entire thing. We have the ability to do that anywhere at any time.
Mm-hmm.
We should not cower down. We should go forward and speak our minds about what we believe in. But we also should be respectful for other people, to other people about what they believe in.
Right. Well, I'll give you a prime example. I'm at work. This has been a few years ago. I was in one of the county buildings. They had a man practicing Muslim religion. He came into the room to do his prayer. I said, sir, I will leave the room, give you the room so you can pray. And he goes, I appreciate it very much. That is right there, is giving that person
The
their
respect.
place and respect to pray. Just like I guarantee you, if I was kneeling down somewhere and I was praying, hopefully that man will show me the same respect for my religion.
Let me give you another example, Byron. I think we've talked about this. I don't know if Michael was around when this happened, but I had some people say, why do you open up with the prayer? Well, that's my belief. That's our show belief. And then we open up with prayer. Well, they said, I'm not going to watch your show anymore unless you quit praying. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to change up the show. And I'm not going to change up what we do because one person asked me to stop. You know, hey, we got a bunch of viewers that believe in God, just like Byron said, believe in what we do. And I'm just not going to stop it, like I said, for one person. And here's the other thing to go along with that. What I told him was, I said, look, I want you to be a viewer of the show. If you don't believe in the first part of the show that we do, give us 7 or 8 minutes, or, tune in after we get done. And then, of course, you'll hear the local, or if it's the national highlights or whatever, come on to the show.
Just
But
turn the volume down.
yeah, that's your choice.
Right.
We're giving you your choice.
It's not like
You don't
watch
have
the
to.
show. You watch the show, you're going to have to stay on your phone and you're going to have to listen to us. We're not doing that.
Here's
Right.
the thing about prayer in school. When we were in school, they gave us time to pray.
Yes, they did.
I believe it was either in my junior or my senior year, they changed that to a moment of silence.
Correct.
I don't have an issue with that at all.
Oh, no,
If you
I
don't
don't
want to
either.
call it prayer, you can call it a moment of silence, you can call it whatever, and you can go pray to Hare Krishna the Dark Lord, or you can go pray to Muhammad, or any deity you pray.
Whoever
choose
your
to
God
pray
is.
to.
Oh, yeah.
If you're an atheist, you can just choose to use that moment of silence for reflection
Right.
and think about mortality if you want. It doesn't matter. But here's the problem: when you start ostracizing a religion that a country was founded on, what ends up happening is the morals that religion instilled in our government to create our government start to erode.
Right.
That is a major issue. this country needs to be put back on its constitutional moorings. And part of that needs to be the religion of our founders. Now, saying that, people have to understand. I'm not talking about forcing people to believe in Jesus Christ.
Right.
What I'm saying is I am saying the moral values that Jesus Christ taught need to be reinstilled in our government. And it's sadly not there.
Well,
No.
it's like
it hasn't been there for a long time.
our court system. If people believe it or not, but our court system is based on the Ten Commandments.
Oh, of course it is. It's absolutely
Yeah.
based. It's based on the Ten Commandments, and it's based on British common law is what it's based on. And guess what British common law is based on?
Ten
The
Commandments.
Ten Commandments. So you look at the history of that. You can say a lot of bad things about Christianity. You can say a lot of bad things about a lot of religions and some of the things they've done. Some of the things that happened years and years and years ago with Muslims, with all sorts of different religions.
Everybody has a history,
Well,
a good and bad.
They all have a history of good and bad.
Right.
So what happens is you take the good, you move forward with the good, you try to live in the image of your deity. That's what you do. But Christmas in particular is about Jesus Christ. Because it's about his birthday. We need to start remembering that a little bit more in our lives, because a lot of people think it's just about the gifts that we get.
Right.
It's not about the gifts we get. It's about celebrating the giving of gifts in the Spirit of Christ.
Yes. Very good.
Well, a lot of people don't understand how the whole gift thing came into effect anyway, part of Christmas, but
Three wise men.
it's the three wise
Wise
men
men.
who brought the three,
Yeah.
each one of them brought a gift.
Yeah.
And that's how the gifts are done.
Yeah.
That's the reason behind it.
And Santa Claus himself
Yeah.
is a saint.
It's saint. That's right.
He literally Saint Nicholas.
So that's it.
Yes.
So I mean, you look at all of this stuff, and it's so watered down now that people don't remember that. Well, if you don't believe the same way that we don't celebrate it that way,
Right.
but don't take it away from people who do. And that's what we've slowly done as a culture. We've taken it away from people who believe in that, and we should really start fighting back.
And I tell you, speaking about Christmas, one of the guys that came to the car show, he was encouraging people to come to the festivities downtown on Call Street, because what he said, because they don't say happy holiday. It is Merry Christmas.
And that's the reason for that is because it's Christ's birth
Yes.
that we celebrate. Now, is that the correct day of Christ's birth? I don't know. Nobody really knows for sure.
There's dates, but
And you can talk about all of this nonsense about pagan holidays being the winter solstice and all of this other stuff, and it was modeled to the Catholic Church and that, and all.
at the end, does it
But
really
at
matter?
the end of the day, it's
Yes,
about the
and
spirit.
yes.
It's a celebration
of
of Jesus Christ.
Christ.
and that's the basically the end of the story with that, because look, I believe in Jesus Christ. You do, you do, and you do. So we'll celebrate it like that.
That's exactly right.
If it offends you, don't celebrate it.
No. No.
If you want to say happy holidays, you go ahead and say it. I don't
Sure.
care about that either.
But you're going to get a Merry Christmas back.
Getting married, that's exactly right.
You're getting Merry Christmas.
Yes.
You're getting Merry
Yes.
Christmas back from the street.
Yeah, yes you are.
I don't want. I'm on a soapbox again. I know, but guys, we have to put Christ back in Christmas.
We have to.
It has to be done, and the people that don't want it there don't have to celebrate it.
Exactly right.
They want to say Merry Happy Holidays and want to call it Happy Holiday Gifts or whatever you want to do with it. That's fine, no big deal. But don't take it away from the people that believe. That's
There you
my point with all of this tonight. And I wanted to share this with everybody else too. I really hope you and yours have a very happy and Merry Christmas.
Byron, thank you for that great topic. And that's a topic that sometimes, we don't, we try to talk about a little bit on the show, but that's, just a topic that I think was great and fitting right here 3 days before Christmas, a few days before Christmas here. And for people to reflect and really know what Christmas is all about. And I think most of our viewers do, and
Even if they don't believe,
Correct.
Here's the thing: this country was founded on the ability not to agree with somebody and go on about your life and leave it alone.
And
Yeah.
don't force your opinions on people as what they should follow.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
Yeah.
we
We live in such a big censorship
Yeah.
right now with the woke
crap,
you know, and I tell you,
Here's what's eventually going to happen with that woke crowd, and with a certain party in particular. They're going to keep on forcing their values, which some of us consider corrupt, onto us until violence starts to happen.
yeah.
That's what's going to happen with this.
And it's already starting in our own party.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. In this country with the freedoms that we have, you cannot force your values on somebody else, but you also can't allow other people to force their values on you. And some of us are starting to wake up and realize that, and having to fight back. And we'll see what happens with it. Anyway, all of that violence talk besides, I really do hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas.
Do want to say here just a couple of quick comments, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Anthony says this is the land of the free and home of the brave, and we're supposed to have the right to free speech, and that's exactly right. There's no doubt about it. Benny Jackson's on. Dwight Allen's got a great point. Michael, what do you think about this? The 10 Commandments scare politicians and lawyers.
Oh, of course it does.
Absolutely.
Amen, brother. Amen. We need to get a hardy face on that or something.
Well, I would say it scares.
Yes.
It scares some of them.
Yes.
Because not
Yes.
all of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of
but
them,
every
but
good
still.
portion of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party is trying to take our freedom of speech away, trying to get us to be like little robots and follow their orders. They forget this is the America, the home of the brave and the land of the free, and God is country, not theirs.
Hold on 1 second. I want to tell you a little bit about where they get their ideas from for taking religion away. All you've got to do is read the Communist Manifesto by Karl
Yes.
Marx. That's all you have to read, and listen to people like Stalin and Lenin. Religion is the opiate of the masses, and they're trying to do some of the same things that that other group did, and they're just. I mean, Marx was a bum. He never had a job in his life.
Nope.
He lived off of other people's wealth. So of course he can come up with stuff like that about the Communist Manifesto. He couldn't have been more wrong about human nature either. So,
Byron, since we're in your segment and we got viewers on, the Green New Deal, the Build Back Better bill is now dead. I'm not saying that it won't come back up after the first of the year, but Joe Manchin stood in a way and stopped that from proceeding. Nancy Pelosi was about to have a heart attack. I forget how many times she took it back and rewrote it to try to get passed. Joe Manchin keeps on saying he's not going to vote for it.
Good.
So if you're listening to this, I want you to go on their website, look up his information, call his office, and thank him
Thank Joe Manchin
for standing up for the values of the United States, us as citizens, and holding back that Build Back Better bill that is just a ton of wasted money, because a lot of the money that's going in there doesn't even go to Build Back Better.
But no, it doesn't. Here's the thing about Joe Manchin. I'm going to say two things about Joe Manchin. Number one, Joe Manchin is a politician and a smart one.
Yep.
He's been there for a very long time. He knows that if he votes against the will of the people of his state,
Oh, he's gone.
which is where? Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Manchin's from Kentucky. If he goes against the will of the people of his state, he will be gone. That's the first thing. Number two, he is not really what a Democrat is now.
No.
Joe Manchin.
He is old-time Democrat.
Joe Manchin really is a left-leaning, what people would call Republican now.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really what Joe Manchin is. He may have a D by his name, but he's really not a Democrat, because they're really not Democrats anymore. They really are.
No. You got a few Democrats. The rest of them are Marxist, socialist.
Communist.
You know, yeah.
That's exactly what they
Yeah.
are. And not yet, not communist yet.
They're working on it.
They're still working on building the lower part of the Americas up so they can have their little communist revolution. But it never works. Not with our system. Look, when you take people that have common sense, that are liberal minded like Joe Manchin is, never going to agree with that side of the Democrat Party. They're never going to, because the definition of liberal is open-minded,
Right.
and they're gonna take into account both sides,
Right.
and then they're going to do the right thing according to their moral values, which he did. So I'm happy with Joe Manchin.
Great segment tonight, guys. I'm glad you brought that up a little bit, because I was going to bring it up right at the beginning of the segment, and I said, I was like, but people need to know that if they're
And
not
call his
following.
office.
And call his office.
And
And that's
thank you.
exactly
And
right.
thank you, because I know there's a lot of people that was calling his office
Yeah.
before, begging him not to
Not to do
Not
that.
to-
and not to move forward on it.
Yeah.
All right, for all you guys that are still on, y'all can play here. Gonna do a little pick'ems. Sorry, guys, I left the notebook at home from our last pick'ems. We'll just continue it on, and then I'll let you know how that happens or how that turns out after I make all my little marks on it. Y'all don't accuse me of that anyway, so that's all right. I know you're in the lead.
It's coming.
I know you're in
It's
the lead.
coming if
Yeah,
you
it's
start doing
coming.
that.
I hear you. All right,
I promise you, I will not get a French lawyer.
no, well, I'm gonna get me one. But anyway,
I'll
look-
get one of the Philadelphia lawyers from yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so first thing, I want to thank Coach Brian Tomlinson for such a wonderful job
Yes.
he did here at Bradford High School for 5 years. Coach Tomlinson, thank you very much. Thank your family, everybody that's been supportive of you and the Bradford High School football team. You've laid the foundation 5 years straight in a row into the playoffs. Actually 6 really, because he wasn't here for one of them. But anyway, I want to thank you for what you've done for us. Y'all talked about it last week. Welcome in Jamie Rodgers as the new head coach. Got a lot of shoes to fill with what's been left, but he's got a good nucleus, a good crop. I think he should be able to do well, and we'll get more into that as the springtime comes around.
If I'm going to see a fullback, I'm going to see a fullback.
You probably will see
let me see a fullback.
You will see a fullback.
And no more pooch little kickoff.
He definitely said no. He said if he's got a kicker, he's kicking it straight down the field. I did get that from him.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. Y'all play along at home here. We're going to pick 6 games, and it's going to be all New Year's 6 bowl games, and I'll read them off to you. We'll start with the Sugar Bowl on January 1st. 10-2 Ole Miss versus 11-2 Baylor. Michael, who do you got?
Got Ole Miss on that one.
Ole Miss, he says. All right, Mitchell.
Ole Miss by 12.
Ole Miss, he says. All right, B.
Come back to me.
Come back to you. David's taking Ole Miss too. Nobody's opted at that bowl game.
Hold on now.
Okay.
Hold on now.
Ole Miss 10-2 versus Baylor 11-2.
Give me Baylor.
You like, okay. Let's see. You want to see what everybody else did. All right.
No, I didn't want to see what everybody else did. I
Yeah,
wanted
he
to see
did,
if they
Michael.
took that Ole Miss bait.
Yeah, I hear you. January 1st, the Rose Bowl. Great game is going to happen here. 10-2 Ohio State Buckeyes versus the 10-3 Utah Utes. Michael.
Everybody knows my 2 favorite teams are the Florida Gators and anybody playing Ohio State.
You taking the
Give me Utah.
Mitchell.
Wait, this is going to be a close game. Utah.
Byron,
Oh, wow. I cannot believe that all three of us are going to take Utah.
make it 4. I'm
All
not-
4 of us. Listen
I
at
am
that.
not
It's gonna
going
be
with
close,
Ohio
but
State.
it's gonna be-
Utah's been playing great the last 3
Oh,
ball
man.
games. Killed Oregon 2 times in a row. I'm going Utah.
Oh boy, and that put a smile on my face.
Oh,
There's
you ain't
nothing.
kidding.
I mean, there's a few teams that I don't like as well as Oregon.
I like the Ducks, man.
January
Come
1st,
on.
Fiesta Bowl.
Ugliest uniforms ever created. My gosh, the things are ugly.
All right, January 1st, Fiesta Bowl. Notre Dame 11-1 versus Oklahoma State 11-2. Michael.
I know a lot of people jumping on the Notre Dame bandwagon. I am not one of them.
Oklahoma.
I will take Oklahoma State.
Mitchell.
Notre Dame by 10.
Notre Dame by 10. Byron.
I want to pick Oklahoma State, but I'm not going to. Give me Notre Dame.
Give me Oklahoma State. I think
Oh.
they're going to put it to them. Yes, sir.
Really?
I do.
Yep. Yep.
December 30th, Peach Bowl. Nice game here. 10-2 Michigan State Spartans versus the 11-2 Pitt Panthers. Where y'all pick the quarterback, that All-American quarterback Pickett will not play for Pittsburgh, and the running back for Michigan State is not playing either. They opted out.
Oh, they opted.
They opted out.
Really? Why would you?
Both of the 2 best players, the 2 guys that I wanted to see, opts the heck out. So,
And that definitely makes me change my mind. Well, yeah.
all right, Michael, give it to me.
Now, I think that in spite of losing the quarterback, I still think that Pitt has a more well-rounded
Their
play.
defense.
So, yeah, well, especially with the defense on, so give me Pitt.
All right, Mitchell.
I'm like Michael. You know, they won't have their running back. That's going to hurt them, make them more one-dimensional. So, yes, I'm
Pitt.
going Pitt.
Byron. You sticking with the ACC, or you
They have
going
a
to
running back. I will go with Michigan.
go Big Ten?
But not doubt.
Give me the Pitt.
Let's take it all the way across the board. I like Pitt's defense. I
hate
like
that.
Pitt's. I like Pitt's defense.
Pitt's
Yeah.
got to be
Renee Stigall-Shaw says, I only watch Ohio State to see their band's halftime show. They do have a good band. I will
Yeah,
say that.
good
You
enough.
got that right.
Yeah,
All right,
you
here we go. Okay, national semifinal on December 31st. Let's start with the Orange Bowl. Number 2, Michigan 12-1 versus Georgia 12-1. Michael, I won't even ask you. Can I just go ahead and write it down?
Write it down.
All right.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I can't.
All right.
I can't jump off the bandwagon.
You rode their bandwagon now for 2.5 years.
I have.
So I've got to put it down.
That's
Mitchell?
right.
Georgia.
Byron?
Man, give me Georgia. They are going to put a hurting on Michigan
Give
after
David
that.
Georgia, too.
After that
Yeah.
egg they laid against Alabama.
Yeah, give me Georgia. Michael would probably, what'd he say? Probably not going to happen. But he's rode him this far. He might as well ride him.
I got to go Michigan. Yeah, I
All
do.
right.
They're going to play angry, man. That Georgia team is going to.
Should I even
Oh,
ask
my
this
goodness.
question? I just want to see. The other national semifinal, number 1 Alabama 12-1 versus Cincinnati 13-0. Michael, I'll start with you.
Man, I'm telling you what.
Thinking.
I
Look at my Mitchell.
I know-
Mitchell ain't giving his face away.
I want Cincinnati to win so bad, but it's not happening. Give me Alabama. I hate to say that, but give me Alabama.
All right, Mitchell.
I've seen Alabama struggle in a few games.
You have?
I am not going with Alabama. I'm going with the upset.
You're going with Cincy?
Cincy by,
You?
let's say 6.
I'm a little bit more confident. Give me Cincinnati by 17.
Wow.
Now, I will explain this.
You can go ahead and explain before I get my pick.
Alabama
Uh-huh.
defense has been suspect this year,
It has.
and their offense has been suspect too.
Mm-hmm.
And all it takes is one phase of that, which is their defense, not to play well, and Cincinnati will score a ton of points on them.
Now, I will say this to you. You know, John Mechie's out for Alabama, but it doesn't matter. They have weapons everywhere. You lose a 5-star, they just bring a 5-star back in. So it won't matter. But Mechie is out.
Here's the problem: they have looked bad and should have been beaten 2 or 3 times.
Well, they should have lost to Auburn. We all talked about that.
Auburn.
They did lose to Texas
They
A&M,
lost to Texas A&M.
and there was a couple other
And that
games
miss,
there.
that
should've
Ole
lost to
Miss
Florida.
game was closer
Yeah,
than
how about that? Should have lost to Florida.
Should have lost to Florida
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, all it's going to take is a mediocre game from that defense, and Cincinnati's going to score a ton of points on
A couple of miscues on offense and defense, and
Cincinnati wins.
Yeah.
Cincinnati plays very good defense.
But
They do. So does
I don't look at for be a very high scoring game.
I don't either. I'm looking at in the low 20s. I'm looking low 20s.
I think Alabama will play pretty decent defense, but
Michael,
they're
you
not
still
like
like
good enough.
Alabama here?
Yeah, I still want
I
Alabama.
still want Alabama.
Yeah, I'm still gonna take
All right,
Alabama.
so we got two Cincy's here. I really want to go and see Cincinnati on the upset. I just don't know if they have enough muscle. I just don't know if they have enough. Give me Alabama closer than what experts think. You know they got that game favored by 14?
No.
No way. Give me Alabama by maybe 6.
Well, David, I kind of hope that
Fancy
happens
by 6.
because I want to see Georgia
And Alabama in a rematch.
just demolish Alabama like Clemson did.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to win this game for sure. And Clemson come out and put, what was it, 63 on them?
Yeah,
okay.
whatever it
Alabama's
was.
All
All right, that's it of the pick'ems.
Good.
Hey, it's been a great show. What do you got?
How about them Cowboys?
How about them
Dallas
Cowboys?
Cowboy defense, man. Woo! That
Yeah.
defense is red
Yeah,
hot.
it is.
Trayvon Diggs with his 10th interception.
Exception,
of the
I
year.
seen that.
They have.
How many times did they sack old boy the other day? About 6, wasn't it?
Quite
Or
a
something
few,
about
yeah.
6
Who
times.
were they playing?
They
The Giants.
Oh,
the Giants,
yeah.
but they have received the turnovers 31 times or something, 36 times.
Wow.
Yes.
That's reminiscent of some
Yes.
90s teams there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that defense is playing. You got Trevor Lawrence and Michael Parsons. Man, them two guys.
Oh, not Trevor Lawrence.
That's Jags.
That's Jaguars quarterback.
Trevon Diggs.
Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs.
And Michael Parsons, man, that was some really good draft
You're right.
picks.
A lot of pro
Very
football, but
smart.
we'll talk about that because we still have some time before the playoffs start. Michael, hit us on the weather.
You got it. So let's go ahead and do a real quick recap on some weather. I actually was able to pull up a couple graphics for you, so let's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but let me show you what we got going on here. And of course that locks up the way I want it to. There we go. So we're looking at the forecast. This is your pollen count. You can see that the numbers are starting low as we go through today and tomorrow. It'll end up going at about a 3.5 as we make our way through the rest of the week here. Pollen numbers still fairly low, looking pretty good. The regional forecast, pretty straightforward stuff here. Again, Chamber of Commerce weather as we go across the region. You can see how the numbers are going to drop in. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s and 50s across the entire southeastern United States. There is not going to be a cloud in the sky as we make our way, but it's going to be chilly in Nashville. Look at highs at 45 degrees under sunny skies. Locally for us, again, improving conditions. It's going to be ugly as we go through the day tomorrow, but you'll see the day will end up being partly cloudy. Thursday at 66, and as we make our way towards Christmas, look for sunshine to make its great return with highs topping out around 70 degrees. That is your latest forecast from Austin's Weather Service. We're going to throw it back to Dave as we wrap up the show, and we appreciate you guys turning in tonight.
Thank you very much, Michael, for a great weather report. It's been a great show. Want to address a couple of things really quick. Yes, you're right. Your Cowboys are very hot. And the Saints, I can't figure them out. One week they're great. The next week they look like they can throw a ball in the ocean. But Renee Stegall-Shaw just said it. She said, what do you think about the Saints defense throwing old Tom all over the field the other night? And they dadgum sure did.
Yeah,
they demolished him.
Yeah.
What did he say to the coach there, Mitchell? You can't say it, but go ahead and
He
mouth
told
it.
the coach after the game he could go
Beep, beep.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, when Tom Brady says something like that,
Well, they've
Yeah.
been exposed a couple of times.
They
and
have.
They have gotten beat, but I'll tell you what, the race for home field advantage throughout the playoffs, man, it is tight.
and I'm going to tell you something else about Tampa, too. Leonard Fournette's hurt.
Yeah.
That's part that well.
Leonard Fournette, man, was
And
their
that changes-
ace and all. That changes the running game and that short passing game.
Yes.
Man, he would dump it off to Leonard Fournette, and he would take off.
Not only that, the number one wide receiver was out too, because
Yes.
he was protesting because
Was that Godwin or was it the other one?
the other one.
Yeah, Evans.
Well,
Yeah.
Evans was out because he was protesting because of the treatment that dipstick
Yes.
that keeps the wide receiver that keeps on getting in trouble in every
Antonio Brown. Yes.
every
I've
NFL
seen
team he goes to.
Eventually, he's going to be totally cut.
He's going to be ostracized from the
Yeah,
league.
the
Yeah.
league's going to get rid of
Yeah,
him.
they're going to get rid of him.
If you don't want to take the COVID shot, tell them you're not taking
Just
the
tell
COVID
'em, just
shot.
tell 'em,
And
yeah.
Don't falsify the documents for it.
Well, you know, there was another quarterback in the NFL that done the same thing.
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Yes, he
He
did.
done the same daggum thing. He lied about it, and he got himself in trouble. He got suspended a game, wasn't it?
Yes,
He
yeah,
got his
yeah.
a game suspension, and he had to pay a lot of money and some fines.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
And we'll discuss this more after the holidays. On behalf of Mr. Byron Bagwell, Mr. Michael Eden, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, the absent Dave Holland, myself, David Rodgers, Merry Christmas,
Christmas, everybody.
and a Happy New Year. God bless you guys. Hey, we love you. We'll be back on the 4th of January, guys. God bless you. Have a great night, great week, and a great holiday season.
Merry Christmas, everybody.